So he ended up in the hospital in 2019. That's when I realized his memory was not what I thought it was, and that the condition was worse than we thought. Yeah. And after that, it was very clear that he needed to get in again. And so that's when they told us that he was in end-stage liver failure and needed a transplant. And that was March of 21. And
at the same time, diagnosed with a kidney condition that was caused by the liver failure. So at that point, they gave 90 days. They said, if you got 90 days to live, that's it.
They said he had 90 days to live, and they were gonna transport him to OHSU to see if they could expedite a liver transplant process, and then the doors closed on that because of hospital policy and transplant policies. So we had to start seeking other options.
So with that, we found an option in Florida, and God provided a way for us to get there and to get on the list, get transplanted. And there's a lot of detail in between there, a lot of things that we saw God do, a lot of amazing things, and a lot of provision by God himself and by his people. And it's been a wild ride watching that. Yeah, I can tell you, for me, there have been a number of lessons learned. Some of the things that I knew in my head, but I hadn't experienced. I'll say that. I hadn't transitioned from my head to my heart and life. We talk about keeping our focus on the Lord, keeping our eyes there. But it's something different when you're going through a circumstance and you can't see what's around the corner, and you're in the hospital, and what's going to happen next? What's going to happen with me? What's going to happen with my family? And for me, coming to that, take your eyes off your circumstances and put them on Jesus. Keep focused on him, and really being willing to lay yourself down and say, okay, I really can't do anything. I'm beyond me doing anything, and I need to surrender. I have to surrender. I don't have any choice in the matter. I have to surrender. And I don't know that I could have learned that without going through that experience. Had God said, yeah, I'm going to heal you this way, miraculously, you're healed, I wouldn't have learned that. And I needed that. I needed that experience to be able to say, okay, God, I'm yours. Direct me. I really don't have control in my life in many ways. You have those dark moments where you're laying there at night, or you wake up in the middle of the night and you either feel attacked, or you feel lonely, or you feel some kind of despair. And for me, it was calling out to the Lord, verbally, out loud, Jesus, I need you here in this moment. Come and be here with me right now, because I need it. I can't do this on my own. I can't get myself out of this. I need you. And in those moments, it was as if somebody just threw open the blinds, and all of a sudden it's the light of day.
So I remember that in March was probably my lowest point, when we were told he had 3 months, and we had no idea how bad it was until that moment. And I came home in tears, told my kids that Dad might not make it. Those weeks, and those hard weeks of hitting walls and not being able to know what was next or how we should move forward, he miraculously came out of the hospital. So that gave us hope that maybe other miracles could take place, and they did. But surrender was huge. And the other thing was the walls. So there were so many walls we hit, and God he took them down when it was time. And we couldn't do anything to make it happen faster. It was like we were in a maze. I kind of feel like we were in a maze, and we didn't know which direction to turn, and he turned us, and he pointed us in the right direction, and he opened the doors that needed to be opened, that we couldn't even see. We didn't even know. I did not want to go to Florida. I did not want to go that far away. I thought that was a crazy thing, and the doctors told us that was a crazy thing, but God didn't think that was a crazy thing, and he knew that's exactly where we needed to be. So his provision financially for us has been phenomenal. a big part of the reason we didn't seek medical care is because of the financial burden that was when we were young and had kids, young kids. So to see him just provide above and beyond for us has been really incredible. And I always say we had front row seats to many miracles, which is beautiful too.
I would say continue in prayer. Continue in the scriptures. Hold them close. Recite them out loud. Memorize. Because in those dark times, call out to the Lord. Call out to the Spirit that lives inside of you, the Holy Spirit that, refresh my mind, renew my mind continually. Bring those scriptures back to mind that I can remember them. And hold them close. Because there is strength there. There is hope there. There is peace. It's hard in the waiting. The waiting is a tough spot because he doesn't often answer the way we expect, and we're in our timing. And it's hard to step out of that because we want it now. We have an Amazon mentality that it's going to be here tomorrow, and that's not always the case. And he does do miracles. It's not unlike him. He does love us, even in the hard times. Remembering that he is love. I personally think that if God had a primary emotion, it would be joy. It would be love. He cares for us that way. I mean, he brought us up out of our sin and our death, and the greatest miracle of all is that he saves our soul. The medications tell my body to ignore the intruder, the new liver. And if I'm not on the medications, then my body recognizes that there's a part that doesn't belong and will try and kill it. Just like it would any disease. It would view it the same. So we constantly have to tell my body to, hey, immune system, calm down.
I'm in awe every day at what has happened to his physical health and just to see a picture of God in that every single day is so... It's like Christmas morning. It feels like we wake up and say, "Oh, you're still here," and we can enjoy this day. And
it's a brand new day. I hop in the shower, I look at my scar, and it's like, okay, today's another opportunity to live for the Lord. He provided this life for me. He extended my life very graciously at just the right time, in just the right ways. And now my opportunity is to live for him. And maybe my responsibility even is to live for him. And how am I going to do that today? Lord, here I am today. Let me walk in your ways.